Disclaimer: the following program features language not suitable for all audiences, and the expressed opinions found within this program are a reflection of those who feature on the PopCulture Effect podcast. Welcome to the PopCulture Effect. I'm Rockin Rob, and on this show, I bring my closest friends together to talk about all the news happening in our pop culture world around us. Welcome, one and all, to yet another section of time that we take out to just talk about just anything, really. Just anything.
What was that boring ass intro?
Oh, I'm sorry. You got one better.
We pull you out of the editor's room, and you do that boring ass intro.
I don't know what to tell you, man. It's so lonely in there. I don't have the creative juices flowing. I only get creative when I got people around me that I care about, you know?
At least acknowledge the audience or something.
What do you mean stop? What do you mean? Okay, fine. This will be the one start over, but we commit to whatever I do, okay?
Give more oomph to it.
More oomph. More
za.
All right. I'll give it a little bit more oomph.
A little more za.
A little more za. Oh, dude, I could smoke more weed and give it more za. No,
not that kind of za, you idiot.
Damn it. All right.
Get more.
What? Ew! Oh no! I'm banishing that. I'm banishing that audio from ever being heard.
Come on, Bobby. You gotta raise up the audience.
All right, now I'm actually gonna myself real quick for.
You gotta them with the tism.
I do have
nice.
the tiz. I do have the tiz. Jesus Christ. I feel like we're just gonna be stuck in limbo. We're never gonna actually start this episode. That's the actual intro, by the way. I'm keeping that in as the intro. Welcome, everyone. I got the za, I got the boomp, I got the
Welcome, everyone.
Why? Why do you have to give me more work? Because I'm not allowing that word to be said on this channel. I'm gonna be censoring it.
Yeah.
F you. Anyway.
Okay.
One more.
Welcome to the PopCulture Effect, where it's a bunch of idiots who gather around and talk about shit that we think is cool, think is fun, think is exciting in pop culture news.
That was actually pretty good. I won't lie. I will give you credit.
It's almost like we've been doing this without you, Robert.
Yeah, I know, right? But you haven't. I've always been.
Yeah.
Always watching. Always smelling.
Okay, don't be smelling. Anyway.
Why are you smelling your computer like that? That's weird.
Yeah, you're being fucking weird.
I'm not
anyway,
smelling my computer. As you can, my friends. Anyway.
Don't stop that. Anyway, as you can obviously tell.
Disclaimer, do not smell your friends.
No, but you gotta. If they're really important to you, you gotta smell them once in a while. You know, you gotta get that olfactory sense.
Don't be sniffing your friends. Anyway, as you can clearly
Secondary disclaimer, don't listen to anything that comes out of Bobbert's mouth.
Yeah, as you can clearly tell, we let him out of the editor's room again, and this is why we don't tend to do that very often.
Hey, you needed me. You needed my energy.
Okay, whatever. Anyway, as you can clearly tell, today's episode we have myself, Gemini, we have Robbie. I don't know what the that was. It was
you
like
just
very high
peaked your mic again.
Yeah.
I am tired. Keep it in! Keep it in!
It's not even that late.
And we've got Menace as well.
Hello.
Well, you know, now that I'm back in the editing room, I think it's about time that I cover a few things that I really feel like we need to have some added time to. Now, I know during this very recording, probably in the next episode that you listen to, I made a mention of wanting to talk about Kaiju No. 8, and I've been pushed to talk about it even more now that Season 1 is wrapped up and Season 2 is already being announced, and that announcement happened at the beginning of this month. So yeah, it may be at the end of July, and you know, it may be a little bit more before we actually get to see Season 2, but I just kind of want to talk about Kaiju No. 8 because I freaking love this anime as a whole. Now, to start off, Kaiju No. 8 is kind of a mix of One Punch Man and, well, honestly, I was gonna say some generic monster battling anime, but there's literally just so many, take your pick. Anyways, this anime stars Hibino Kafka, and he is a jaded 30-something-year-old that wanted to join his childhood friend in the Japanese Defense Force fighting kaiju. And with him constantly failing the test, around 12 fails, in total, it seems to be a bit of a pipe dream for him to be able to get in, especially with his age, with him now being one of the oldest people to ever apply. But at the end of his failure for the exams, he gets put into the sanitation unit, cleaning up the aftermath of the kaiju fights. And just as a quick side note, I just want to say I'm really glad we actually got to see this, because in every kaiju fighting show like Power Rangers or Voltron or any of the other shows where you destroy giant monsters, I mean, I know we even have Netflix having their own Ultraman Rising show, which is kind of taking the concept and flipping it on its head, because the kaiju is actually a baby that Ultraman has to care for. But anyways, we never really truly get to see the aftermath and the chaos of what's left in the wake of the battle, which is great because this gives our main character the perfect opportunity and resources to study and learn every weakness and strategy for the kaiju. He eventually meets Reno Ichikawa, and meeting him inspires him to want to take the Defense Force exam once again, especially since the age requirement was raised to his exact age. And eventually he actually passes, which I'm really happy for, but you couldn't really get the show started without him being accepted and passing. But there is one big problem, unfortunately. Some weird kaiju insect egg thing implants itself into Kafka, and this starts probably the best part of the anime as a whole from my perspective. I mean, aside from the obvious hype surrounding characters like Kikoru Shinomaya, second in command Soshiro Hoshina, and captain of the 3rd Division and aforementioned childhood friend of Kafka, Mina Ashiro. But this takes the cake, because we get to see a mini kaiju. And I just want to say as an aside, across the kaiju, across the main characters, across the Defense Force, the animation and abilities across this whole anime are just beautiful and so awesome, and I can't get enough of it. But going back to the mini kaiju with Kafka, he's basically got the strength and abilities of a kaiju, but still human size. But this also leads to him trying to hide his identity, because, if they realize he's a kaiju, they'll kill him because he's a kaiju, and they kind of do that for a living. Now, I don't want to get into too big of spoiler territory, obviously, with the 2nd season coming out. Most people have already seen the 1st season, but for those of you that haven't, go watch it. It's awesome. It's just such a great encapsulation of what I love about anime. Beautiful animation, great character writing, and beautiful set pieces, because genuinely, this is incredible. But since Kaiju number 8 Part 2 is being in the works and it's going to come out at some point, I just wanted to take some time to talk about it, because this anime is great. It deserves all the attention in the world. The reveals that happen later on in the season are really interesting with how they're going to take it in the 2nd season. But as an aside, I just want to mention, I've been getting into a lot of these shorter animes, like Dororo, To Your Eternity, and as of right now, Go-Go Loser Ranger and Kaiju number 9, and one of my personal favorites, Noragami. And who knows if any of these animes will blow up and have hundreds of episodes to them, but I just really appreciate how they're able to make me care about these characters across such a short amount of time. This has just been me kind of gushing about this beautiful anime. It's definitely worth your time to watch, and genuinely, out of all of the episodes, there's about like 1,000 different phone screensaver moments you could pick out from this anime. But yeah, definitely go give it a watch. It's a great time, and I'm sure the next season's gonna be absolutely bonkers. I'm definitely gonna be returning to talk about it when the season 2 actually drops, and this isn't an example of me saying I'm going to talk about something next week and I don't talk about it like Multiverses, because Multiverses came out and the beta was definitely better than the launch, and they should have just kept it at the beta, and they made the game so much worse, and hopefully they can improve it in due time. But definitely with Kaiju number 8, I'm going to return to talk about this when I get the opportunity to, because it is just absolutely amazing. Anyways, that's all I had to talk about for Kaiju number 8. Definitely go check it out. I know I've said that countless times, but all the main characters are great. It's very relatable, especially me being 26, entering that kind of late stage of my 20s. I can definitely kind of get the perspective of what this anime is trying to get across, with the new guard coming in, but the old guard still wanting to be an important part of it. But yeah, that's been everything I have to talk about for Kaiju number 8. And now I think it's time for me to return for the rest of this week's episode. So moving on to what will most likely be the largest portion of this episode. Menace, why don't you go on your rant about First Descendant?
Okay, well, it's kind of a rant, kind of not. So,
okay, so you're lying to us.
No, I said kind of in the message. Shut up.
Alright.
But
I'm
anyway,
gonna mute myself for a second because I gotta plug in my laptop real quick.
I wanted to split. For those of you that don't know, the First Descendant is a new looter shooter that came out last week, and I wanted to break this kind of review down into 3 parts. First part being looks and gameplay. Second being, narrative and storytelling aspects, and the third being obviously what I always talk about with games: microtransactions and monetization. Well, I should say monetization and progression. So, First Descendant is a looter shooter made by Nexon. I don't know how to pronounce it. And it's very reminiscent of Warframe. For those of you that don't know, you play as descendants, people touched by the precursors, which is a race that preceded humanity, and not much is known about them. As you're going through the story, you are fighting the humanity's enemy, the Vulgus, in this post-apocalyptic world where a rift to another world has opened up, causing not only the Vulgus to appear, but these big hulking monsters called Colossi, and the descendants, these people with powers from what's called Arche, which is like a life energy, are able to fight them. There's also this other race that is there that helps out humanity. I can't remember the name of it. So there is this is where the Warframe stuff kind of comes in, is for the gameplay and looks, the looks of it pretty good. You go through the missions, you go through essentially the different missions that you'll be going through, and then once you finish the area, the story will progress. You go and talk to a designated 1 or 2 descendants that you can unlock in the game, help them with whatever they're doing in that area, move on to the next. I don't have the best monitor, so I don't have like the mega HDR settings or anything like that, but even without it, the game does look good. I always tweak my settings, feel like most people do. So like mechanical wise, it feels good. You get this grappling hook, which especially with some of the Descendants powers, you can really like get into and do some parkour shit, fun, and become like Spider-Man almost. But with the missions is where I kind of get into my first bad point, that there's like 5 or 6 missions tops that you do in this game throughout the entire game. There's interact with the terminal and protect said terminal until the timer runs out. There is kill the enemies in the area. There is kill the enemies in an area and pick up whatever they drop. And there is a couple involving different terminals that you need to interact with, and you either need to stand next to them or kill enemies until a big guy spawns and you put a bomb in the terminal. And then after you do that, a big guy will spawn and you kill him. And that is every mission in the entire game. Later on, the missions will like link together, so you'll do one where you need to kill enemies in an area, and then you need to go and stand on some plates to go and open a door. So it kind of gets more like diverse, I guess, but it's still the same 6 missions, just strung together. But as a counterpoint to that, the enemy variety is really cool. It's actually implemented in the lore that there are different legions of the Vulgus, and each one, like, there's one that is called the Legion of Immortality, so they have tankier fighters, and they're like fire-based guys. And then there's the Legion of what is it? I can't remember all the names of the Legion specifically, but there's one that's like based around poison and decay and stuff like that. There's one that like is based around shields and stuff. And as you progress in the game, you'll actually get like modifiers on the enemies, where it's like this specific enemy can blink, like blink dash, but he also gives shield to everybody around him, so you gotta focus on killing him first. But if you get too close, he also has MP leech, where he'll take away your abilities. So it's got some variety with the like modifiers and stuff. At least there is talk about adding more factions, and there's going to be like this dungeon that's going to be coming out soon, so add more variety to the missions, hopefully. But going on to actual like narrative stuff, this game is stale. Everybody is tragic. Like, you go to HQ because you're like a military based operation, and they tell you your mission, and then you go out and you talk to this descendant. You're like, oh cool, I'm gonna meet possibly a character that I can get, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they just repeat the same shit to you. It's like, oh yeah, we need to go and infiltrate the Vulgus and go into this base. Cool, okay. You go into, and then you go and you start the first mission to the area that you're in. To get into the base, we need to go and kill these guys so we can go and open the door for the base. And you're working your way up all the way to there, just hearing the same stuff over and over.
Mm-hmm.
There's supposed to be missions for the different descendants, but I've gone through practically all the story at this point, and I've been following Bunny's mission, which is like the poster descendant, so the one with like the bunny ears and the electricity coming off her.
Mm-hmm.
But I figured there'd be more. Like, I figured like, oh, you unlock this descendant and it unlocks their mission once you get to a specific area on the map. No, just following one, and they got like full-on cutscenes for this side mission and stuff like that. But I don't know. It doesn't seem like there's much weight to what you're doing. You're also running around, and as you're going through the story by doing the missions around, it's all public space, so you can have people join in that have like mega high level weapons just wiping everything. So they were like, okay, well, I guess I did a thing. But the implementation of you're essentially looking for these relics from the precursors called the Iron Heart. And I don't know, the actual story being told through like the cutscenes is really good, but actually going through the gameplay feels like a slog. Like, and I guess kind of going back to like the general gameplay when I was talking about the missions, is how you gain rewards and you like unlock new descendants is you go through the story and you do these missions. But if you want specific items, you got to go through, and when you hover over the mission, it shows you a percentage chance of that item dropping for you when you complete the mission. So if you want, my favorite character is Glay. She has like she has two forms: a form for like healing and helping out her teammates, and a offensive form where she can like suck the life from enemies and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But to get her, you need to do specific missions to try to get a 5% drop chance item, which then you need to go to a Colossus, which you complete after completing an entire like section of the map. You fight a Colossus. You need to go to the specific Colossus, fight that, use that material to possibly have a chance of getting the item out of the drop chance you got for the item. So if you, even though you grind that mission to get the item for the Colossus, right, you still have a chance of not getting the thing for the character you need. And that's how these MMO looter shooters have been for years, and I've hated it. That's why I stopped playing Warframe.
Ugh. Yeah, I remember playing a bit of Warframe, but I just couldn't get into it.
It's a collectathon. You want to unlock all the guns. You want to, at least for First Descendant, you want to unlock all the Descendants, get them to max level, get all the modules on them that you want, get the gun, get all the modules that you want for that gun.
Mm-hmm.
Because once you get the guns you want, if they are like gold rarity, you need to then keep getting parts for those guns to craft more to enhance the special ability that the gold weapons have. So it's just grinding forever and ever trying to get these different parts to craft. Which brings me to my last section on this, is monetization and progression. And this is what kills this game for me, and this is why I cannot continue playing this game. So this is not pay to win. You can consider it pay to win, I guess, but the general term for it is pay to progress. It is time savers. So you can pay to get Descendants early. You can buy special packs for the Ultimate, which should I say, the Ultimate ones? So, you know how in League there's like Ultimate skins where it changes the animations and the texture?
Yeah.
That's what these are for Descendants. They're ultimate versions that change like either like the attribute of some of their moves or how they look and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But since they're so rare to get in game through the grinding process, it is $100 to buy a ultimate bundle for a character.
How much?
$100.
Who? Good lord.
Yeah.
Not in this economy.
So
Sorry, $100 for what?
for the ultimate versions of like I play Glay, there's an ultimate version of Glay. If you want to buy her early, it is $100, or you can spend hundreds of hours grinding to try to get the parts for her to build her yourself.
What are you gonna do?
I'm not gonna play anymore after this, actually.
Wait, really?
Yes. I've done my time. It's too grindy for me. I don't got the time for it.
Right?
But,
No, I feel that.
But the thing is if you do spend the hundreds of hours of grinding and get the ultimate glay, it takes 32 hours to have it crafted because you have to craft everything once you get the different parts for it. You go to a specific vendor and you start a timer for yourself. But guess what? You can spend real money to shorten that timer.
Oh, of course you can. Why wouldn't you?
Yes.
That's no. Okay, no, I'm sorry. I need to go on a rant. That's f***ing scummy. I hate.
It's called a pay to progress. It's a pay to progress model.
Yeah, I know, but it's literally
model.
It's the base model for every mobile game ever. You wanna play the game? Well, sorry, you can only play for 12 hours at a time. Like,
well, they don't. No, that's like an energy thing. That's a completely different thing. You don't.
No, I know.
Run out of.
I'm paraphrasing, but the point I'm trying to make is that they halt your progress in the game unless you pay them money.
Yeah. Well, or you wait.
Yeah, but who has the patience to wait? You can wait when you're dead. Or maybe I'm just being impatient. I don't know.
But I don't know if they increase the mission variety, and I don't know, the microtransactions really kill it for me. I played through the beta. I liked it. There was only one character that I liked. That was Glay. I already have her maxed out. I have her like a full build already. I'm done with the game.
The way you said that, though.
I don't know. I thought it was gonna be. It's just another long list of games that I've been waiting years for that just turned out to be disappointments on launch.
Well,
and
you know what they say.
If the monetization for the game doesn't change, I don't see any reason coming back to it.
That's fair. I don't really blame you on that. But hey, it's free to play to start. That's.
It is a free to play game, so if you are interested and you don't mind like the waiting, like if you're a big fan of Warframe or any of the other like grind for parts MMO type style games, it's really fun. It's over the shoulder third person for those that matter or those that care about how their viewpoint is. The story is compelling, like I said, for what like the actual cutscenes and the actual like overarching story, but the different characters do seem bland. But other than that, I do like just running around shooting things, blowing stuff up. I've been talking about Glay a lot, but I also got like a stealth character, ninja with like a electric sword and stuff like that. So there's a bunch of different styles you can do for play. There's a big shield titan guy for those that like tank characters. There's an ice person where you can put down blizzards and have a ice walk behind you that damages any enemies that are chasing you. I don't know. It wasn't my cup of tea, and I figured it would be.
Yeah, not every game will be.
I will say it did add a list of to my most hated characters in all of gaming. Jeremy, that dickhead.
I don't even know the context, but yeah, Jeremy.
That's all I'll say. If you want to know more about Jeremy and why he's a dickhead, go try the game out. It's free. But yeah, I think that's it for me.
Now, this is quite the lovely surprise. It's been a while since I've had the opportunity to throw in an extra story at the end here, but that's mostly because First Descendant was a pretty bulky conversation piece. And just to get down to brass tacks here, for those of you that know, I'm a big fan of MatPat and game theory, and in their most recent FNAF theory, MatPat was actually appearing in it to one, actually give context for FNAF, because, he can never leave that series alone, but he was also there to do a self-promotion shill. He and some other members of the team theorists are creating Lorefi, and this is probably one of the most interesting projects I've heard from in a while. So, do you know about Lo-Fi Girl, and by extension Lo-Fi Boy? Just really soothing music to kind of study to work to, just to kind of relax to. Well, take that, add a murder mystery, and lore into the mix, and you put it on Spotify with regular uploads of the different tracks that they use and a full episode on YouTube. And honestly, I'm really excited for what this is going to provide. If you know me, I'm a huge audio nerd. I mean, I've literally been creating this show for God knows how long at this point, and I love every aspect of audio creation, and from what I can gather from this kind of audio construction of music and lore and and intricate details, I am absolutely blown away. Specifically by the audio design of the music and the main character's voice acting of Gregory. And yeah, of course, one of MatPat's main characters is Gregory, and he's already said that he's not a robot. But from what I can tell, this is a gigantic undertaking of a project, and my heart goes out to MatPat and the whole team behind Lorefi, because this is just a huge project in and of itself they are pushing for, and I look forward to see what this is going to be turning into. Right now, as I've said, most of their tracks are on Spotify that you can listen to right away, and they have a giant hour-and-a-half long video titled Taylor's Story out, which you can listen to, and honestly, by the time you listen to this episode, there may be another episode out, so go enjoy that as well. I just really wanted to take some time to discuss this because it mixes two of my favorite things. One, music and audio production, and two, intricate lore that you can learn and discover for yourself. I'm sure there will already be a subreddit discussing Lorefi, and let me quickly do a quick Google search, and yeah, there is in fact already a subreddit page for Lorefi, and that's just insane if you want my honest opinion. Anyways, I really hope this project goes well for MatPat, and hopefully this will kind of give him a new passion project to work on, to keep him busy now that his workload has kind of shifted since he's no longer the host. I mean, he's the host of GT Live, but the four main channels he's no longer being the voice of, so hopefully this will give him something to light that fire of passion under his heart, under his soul, under every part of his mind, body, and spirit. I don't even know what I'm talking about at this point. But I, for one, think that this is going to be my new passing time editing working music set, because honestly I took a little bit of a listen and it's so relaxing and soothing. I can't wait to see what comes out of this, and I can't wait to see the theory videos that comes out, because you know for a fact that MatPat will want a game theory video about Lorefi. And that's honestly just a no-brainer for easy views and an easy excuse to get MatPat back into the closet recording booth, because that's what we all want. But that's kind of been everything I wanted to talk about for Lorefi. Oh, and as one extra tidbit, just because I found this funny, we may have gotten a game theory bingo, because we got two hosts, we got MatPat appearing, we got him talking about FNAF, we got him doing a self-promotion, and we got that free space. So I think that's a bingo. I don't know if that's a bingo, maybe it is. But, oh, and also, sorry, there is another aspect of this that makes it a full bingo. We got the official game theory outro, which was just, it warmed my heart, honestly. And if we're really talking heartwarming, I want to make one little wrestling mention. I want to make one mention of a recent segment on Raw featuring Bo Dallas and the Wyatt Six, and I cannot wait to see where this story goes, but to see Bo on his knees in the middle of the ring waiting for Sister Abigail to bring him the lantern, and his laugh, his mannerisms, it truly feels like Bray Wyatt is alive inside him, and that truly warms my heart. But anyways, I can't wait for Lorefi to continue to pump out music and content, and I'm sure there will be an intricate timeline of events going through Taylor's story and what happened to Gregory. But yeah, definitely give it a listen, make it your new vibe playlist on Spotify if you want to, or you can listen to the whole story, as I said, uninterrupted on YouTube. I mean, granted, as an hour-long video, it most likely will be interrupted with ads, but, you know. Also, as a side note, I heard about some news about embedded ads into videos. God, that'd be awful. But that would also teach people how to skip like 30 to 60 seconds just through the video. You know, double tapping makes you skip 10 seconds. I mean, at least on mobile. But yeah, going away from my tangent there, that's all I have to talk about for Lorefi. I'm gonna love this music. It's gonna be my new favorite jam. I know I've been looking for a new favorite jam on music because I've kind of fallen into the same loop of the same artists with the same type of music, and I hope it gives you something to listen to as well. Anyways, that's everything I have for Lorefi, and I think that's everything I have for this whole week. So all I want to say is thank you for listening, and I will send it back to my friends and my past former self to end off this episode. Alrighty.
Did you guys have anything else to say or add on before?
I'm good.
No? Okay, well, sorry, dying, give me a sec.
No, continue to die, please. We need that obituary episode and the funeral episode.
Oh, wow. Oh,
What?
Okay, I think that's... Okay, well, I was gonna get into it.
Okay, so sorry.
Well, I think that's it from us. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're watching on CGSW, make sure to go check out the other channels or the other shows that we got over on there. And we will see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Well, bye.